Possible causes of voltage drop include transformer overload. The 75 kVA transformer may be overloaded when the chiller compressor starts up. Check the transformer's rated capacity and ensure it can handle the load. Another possible cause is weak wiring. The wiring from the transformer to the compressor may be undersized or have excessive resistance. Ensure the wires are of the correct gauge and are properly connected. Loose connections in a power distribution system can cause voltage drops. Check all connections, including transformer terminals, circuit breakers, and wire terminations. Impedance in the power source can also cause voltage drop during peak demand. Line impedance from the utility transformer or other equipment in the system may be the cause. If other loads are sharing the transformer, they may contribute to the voltage drop when the chiller starts up. To begin troubleshooting, first run a load test on the transformer to verify its capacity. Ensure the voltage drop remains within acceptable limits. Secondly, check wiring resistance. Use a low resistance ohmmeter to measure the resistance of the wiring between the transformer and the compressor. Any excessive resistance should be corrected. Thirdly, tighten connections. Ensure all electrical connections are properly tightened. Use a torque wrench if necessary to ensure the correct torque. Fourth, contact the utility. If the voltage drop is excessive and other troubleshooting steps have not resolved the issue, contact the utility company to investigate the line impedance and potential solutions. Fifth, consider a different transformer. If the transformer is overloaded, consider upgrading to a higher capacity transformer. Sixth, separate loads. If possible, isolate the chiller from other loads sharing the transformer to reduce voltage drop during startup. Consider also the voltage rating of the compressor. Ensure the compressor is rated for the voltage you are providing, which in this case is 230 volts alternating current. Monitor the voltage during different operating conditions to determine if there are any significant fluctuation. Check the power factor of the chiller compressor to ensure it is not contributing to the voltage drop. A low power factor can exacerbate voltage drop issues. Now let's delve into each of these areas in more detail. Starting with transformer overload, it's crucial to understand how a transformer's kVA rating relates to the actual power demands of the connected equipment. A 75 kVA transformer, for instance, can theoretically supply 75,000 volt amps. However, this doesn't directly translate to 75 kilowatts unless the power factor is 1. If the power factor is less than 1, the actual power the transformer can supply is reduced. When a chiller compressor starts, it often draws a significant inrush current, which can briefly overload the transformer. This overload can cause the voltage to drop. To assess whether the transformer is adequately sized, measure the voltage and current on both the primary and secondary sides of the transformer while the chiller is running, especially during startup. Calculate the apparent power, which is the product of voltage and current, and compare it to the transformer's kVA rating. Ensure you are accounting for the power factor of the chiller. If the apparent power exceeds the transformer's rating even momentarily, the transformer is likely undersized. In addition, consider the transformer's temperature. Overloaded transformers tend to overheat, which can further reduce their efficiency and voltage regulation. Use an infrared thermometer to check the transformer's temperature during operation. If it exceeds the manufacturer's recommended operating temperature, it's another indication of overload. Moving on to weak wiring, the wiring between the transformer and the compressor plays a crucial role in maintaining proper voltage levels. Undersized wires have a higher resistance, which causes voltage drop as current flows through them. According to Ohm's law, voltage equals current times resistance. To determine if the wiring is adequate, consult the National Electrical Code, NEC, Table 3.10.16, which provides ampacity ratings for various wire sizes based on their insulation type and installation method. The wire size must be sufficient to handle the compressor's full load current, plus any additional load in the circuit, with an appropriate safety factor. Measure the voltage at the transformer's output terminals and at the compressor's input terminals while the compressor is running. The difference between these voltages represents the voltage drop across the wiring. If the voltage drop exceeds 3%, the wiring is likely inadequate and needs to be upgraded. Use a low-resistance ohmmeter, also known as a micro-ohmmeter, to measure the resistance of the wiring. Disconnect the power before performing this test to ensure safety. Compare the measured resistance to the expected resistance based on the wire's length, gauge, and material. Excessive resistance indicates a problem with the wiring. Next, consider loose connections. Loose connections create resistance in the electrical circuit, which can lead to voltage drops, heat generation, and even electrical fires. Inspect all connections in the power distribution system, including those at the transformer terminals, circuit breakers, disconnect switches, and the compressor's junction box. Look for signs of corrosion, discoloration, or loose wires. Use a torque wrench to tighten all connections to the manufacturer's specified torque. This ensures a secure and reliable connection without over-tightening, which can damage the terminals. Perform a voltage drop test across each connection while the compressor is running. A significant voltage drop across a connection indicates a loose or corroded connection that needs to be addressed. Another factor can be impedance in the power source. The utility's power grid has impedance, which can cause voltage drops, especially during peak demand periods. The impedance consists of both resistance and reactance, which can affect the voltage regulation at the point of service. Contact the utility company and request an impedance test at the service entrance. This test will provide valuable information about the utility's contribution to the voltage drop. Request the utility to check the voltage regulation at the transformer supplying power to your facility. Poor voltage regulation can indicate problems with the utility's equipment or infrastructure. Consider installing a power conditioner or voltage regulator at the service entrance to mitigate voltage fluctuations caused by the utility's impedance. Another potential issue can be other loads sharing the transformer. If other equipment is connected to the same transformer as the chiller, their operation can affect the voltage supply to the chiller. When other loads start or operate intermittently, they can cause voltage fluctuations that impact the chiller's performance. Identify all other loads connected to the transformer and determine their power consumption. Use a power quality analyzer to monitor the voltage and current at the transformer while all connected loads are operating. This will help identify any load-related voltage drops. If possible, isolate the chiller from other loads by connecting it to a separate transformer or power source. This will minimize the impact of other loads on the chiller's voltage. To perform a load test on the transformer, use a load bank to simulate the chiller's load and measure the transformer's voltage regulation. A load bank allows you to apply a controlled and variable load to the transformer, enabling you to assess its performance under different loading conditions. Monitor the transformer's voltage, current, and temperature during the load test. Ensure that the voltage drop remains within acceptable limits, typically 3% to 5%, and that the transformer's temperature does not exceed its rated operating temperature. If the transformer fails the load test, it may need to be replaced or upgraded. To check wiring resistance, disconnect the power before performing any resistance measurements to ensure safety. Use a low-resistance ohmmeter, also known as a micro-ohmmeter, to accurately measure the resistance of the wiring. Measure the resistance of each wire segment between the transformer and the compressor. Compare the measured resistance to the expected resistance based on the wire's length, gauge, and material. Any significant deviation indicates a problem with the wiring. Clean and tighten all connections to ensure a low resistance path. To tighten the connections, use a calibrated torque wrench to tighten all electrical connections to the manufacturer's specified torque. This ensures a secure and reliable connection without over-tightening, which can damage the terminals. Follow the manufacturer's recommendations for torque values. Inspect the connections for signs of corrosion or damage and clean or replace them as necessary. Regularly inspect and maintain electrical connections to prevent future problems. When contacting the utility, provide the utility company with detailed information about the voltage drop issue, including the voltage measurements at the service entrance and at the chiller. Request the utility to perform an impedance test at the service entrance to determine the utility's contribution to the voltage drop. Ask the utility to check the voltage regulation at the transformer supplying power to your facility. Discuss potential solutions with the utility, such as upgrading their equipment or adjusting the transformer taps to improve voltage regulation. Keep detailed records of all communications with the utility company. When considering a different transformer, select a transformer with a kVA rating that is at least 25% larger than the chiller's full load kVA. This will provide an adequate safety factor and prevent overloading the transformer. Consider using a K-rated transformer, which is designed to handle non-linear loads such as those produced by electronic equipment. K-rated transformers are more robust and can withstand high harmonic currents without overheating. Ensure that the new transformer is properly installed and connected by a qualified electrician. When separating loads, identify all other loads connected to the transformer and determine their power consumption. Use a power quality analyzer to monitor the voltage and current at the transformer while all connected loads are operating. This will help identify load-related voltage drops. If possible, connect the chiller to a separate transformer or power source to isolate it from other loads. This will minimize the impact of other loads on the chiller's voltage. Balance the loads on the remaining transformer to ensure that it is not overloaded. Verify the voltage rating of the compressor by checking the nameplate on the compressor to ensure that it is rated for the voltage you are providing, which in this case is 230 volts alternating current. If the compressor is not rated for 230 volts alternating current, it may be necessary to use a different transformer or replace the compressor. Consult the compressor manufacturer or a qualified electrician to determine the appropriate voltage rating for the compressor. To monitor voltage fluctuations, use a data logger to record the voltage at the compressor's input terminals over an extended period. This will help identify any voltage fluctuations that may be contributing to the problem. Monitor the voltage during different operating conditions, such as startup, full load, and partial load, to identify any specific scenarios that cause voltage drops. Analyze the data to determine the magnitude and frequency of the voltage fluctuations. Use a power quality analyzer to measure the power factor of the chiller compressor. A low power factor can increase the current draw and contribute to voltage drops. Improve the power factor by installing power factor correction capacitors at the compressor or at the main electrical panel. Consult with a qualified electrician to determine the appropriate size and location for the capacitors. Regularly inspect and maintain the power factor correction equipment to ensure that it is functioning properly. Remember that proper and complete implementation of these items may resolve the issue. Also, consider consulting a licensed electrician, and if working on electrical circuits, make sure to take the proper safety measures and precautions.